Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining this Public Librarians Chat. I'm Julie Niederhauser and I work at the Alaska State Library. I'm so excited because we have Ruby Ontiveros here. And Ruby is currently in the Master of Library Science program at Texas Women's University. And she will be graduating from that program on August 13th. So congratulations to Ruby for all of her hard work to get where she's at here. Ruby and her family have moved to Anchorage from El Paso, Texas. And when I asked her what was the one thing or her favorite part of leading a story time, she told me watching children's faces light up when you introduce them to a new library book or a new character. So today, Ruby's going to be introducing us to some new techniques and or some techniques on how to present a story time. And one of the things I love about her presentation is she's going to be highlighting how to lead a bilingual story time. And I think this is fantastic, fantastic for all of us here in Alaska. We have lots of children who speak different languages, and I think this is a great opportunity for us all to learn more about this. So thank you, Ruby. I'm going to mute myself and let you begin your presentation.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here for my webinar. I will be graduating in less than a month, so I'm excited, nervous, all at the same time. But I've greatly appreciated being able to do this practicum with different people. I've enjoyed it so much. So that is kind of bittersweet. However, I look forward to putting this webinar for you. So here it goes. Okay, so my name is Ruby Ontiveros. I have been with the Texas Women's University since 2018 for my Master's of Library Science. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. We moved around a lot due to my husband being active duty military, and now we are here in Anchorage, Alaska. So it's been great being here. My overall objective for the webinar is I'm passionate about reading and the influence that it's able to bring to early literacy story times, how it's being able to help in developing young minds. So during the webinar, I'll be focusing on story times and how to engage families that are with the kids for story time, and also how to get them involved. I'll also incorporate songs, movements, Spanish, and American Sign Language. So overall, when you're doing a story time, the easiest way that I've seen is to keep it short and simple. Since kids have a short attention span, you want to make sure that you're able to grasp their attention and keep it for as long as possible. If you do by chance choose to do a theme, then make sure you're doing a neutral theme. There are, everybody does have different holidays that they do or do not celebrate, different beliefs. And so you just want to make sure that it's able to focus on everyone as a whole. If by chance you are geared towards doing themes, then make sure it is neutral. So for this theme, I chose vehicles. Okay. So a welcome song is able to pretty much start the story time as a whole. So you're letting the kids and the parents or caregivers know, okay, we're going to get started, have a seat and get ready. So it's important to get their attention right away. So one of the ways that I chose to incorporate that is song and also throwing in some easy sign language just to get them involved and just to introduce it as a whole. So I'm going to go ahead and sing it for you guys, but also demonstrate some of the sign language signs. So if you wanted to do it, cool. If not, that's totally fine. So it's going to be hello. And then your fingers like little hooks. This is friends. And then time, you're pointing to your watch. 2, say hello. So it'll be hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. That's the way that I chose to go ahead and incorporate. the start of story time. Okay, so the first book that I chose, this one is The Wheels on the Bus by Elodie Pope. This one is in English and Spanish. So I chose this one just because there is a song tied to it, which is pretty easy, as well as being able to do it in English and Spanish. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you and demonstrate how it can be done in English and in Spanish. Okay. So the wheels on the bus, las ruedas de autobús, las ruedas de autobús se dan vueltas y vueltas por la ciudad. The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish all through the town. La puerta de autobús se abre y se cierra por la ciudad. Las luces de autobús se encienden y se apagan por la ciudad. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep all through the town. Los amigos de autobús dicen hola, ¿cómo estás? Por la ciudad. So this one I thought was pretty short and simple, as well as just throwing in the song there with them, using English and Spanish. And if you wanted to throw in also movements, of course, you can do like the wheels on the bus, the doors, and the horn. So you can go ahead and do that as well. Just different options with that book, since it is pretty well known with the song. So dealing with kids and having them do a story time, of course, they're gonna have lots of energy. So one way to get their wiggles out, if by chance you notice that they're very energetic for that time, is to have something in between the stories that you're presenting. So I chose to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So also a song that's pretty popular. So it would just be head, shoulders, knees, and toes, head, shoulders, knees and toes, eyes and ears and mouth and nose, head, shoulders, knees and toes. So that'll go ahead and help and get the kids with their wiggles out and have them moving around for a little bit. That way it can get them ready for the next story. The second book option is focused on firefighters, more specifically on the fire truck or the fire engine. So some quick ways is to introduce some words. So like firefighter would be bombero. Ladder is escalera. So one way to engage the audience with this one is to go ahead and point out some of the things that are in the book. This one is like one of those pop-up books that are pretty fun. So I just wanted to demonstrate how I would go ahead and do that. So, tring, tring, what's that ring? Quick, round up the fire crew. Someone needs our help. We have a job to do. So you can say, where's the fire truck? To get them involved, they can point it out. Like, oh, I see a fireman. Like, fireman in Spanish is bombero. Let's drive super fast to reach the blast. Switch on the siren and the lights. It's an emergency. Watch us whiz up out of sight. Toot toot, here are who. We make a big noise that's very loud. We're nearly there now. Can you see the big black cloud? You can see the big black cloud? There's a fire. We're here, we shout. Quick, everyone out. Turn off the siren, roll out the hose. How big is the fire? No one knows. Whoosh, sloosh, splatter, and splosh. Help the water gush out of the hose. Pull out the ladder up so high, squirt the water on the fire. Here's the ladder. So ladder in Spanish is escalera. So that's the second book. And then overall, if you're doing a story time with young children and you feel that maybe their attention span is kind of wandering, you might just want to wrap it up just to, you know, let them get their wiggles out and stuff like that. If you feel that you can't really get their attention back, and that's okay, that happens. But if by chance, you want to try to get their wiggles out, then another option is also having a quick go-to that incorporates a lot of movement. And the song is about a rocket ship. So something that the kids can be excited about. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you. So it's zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. So it's zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. So when you do blast off, the kids can jump up in the air, and if there's a parent or caregiver that's holding a little kid, they can lift them up. So that's the easy way to kind of engage different age groups. And then you would want to incorporate a way to close out your story time. So this one is similar to the hello song, except it says goodbye instead of hello. Goodbye is just goodbye. So we're gonna do goodbye, and then friends is still the hooks, time, to, and then goodbye. So it'll be goodbye, friends, goodbye, friends, goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. And then here are a couple of, well, the references that I used. So it does include the songs and the books that I used in this webinar. And I have also enclosed a couple extra sources. So there are some books here that are also in Spanish that are young reader friendly, as well as a book that is able to touch base more on sign language for kids and early literacy as a whole. So these are just some additional resources that you might want to go ahead and utilize. So that is pretty much my webinar. If you guys have any questions, any feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, so just thank you all for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for taking time out of your day to join me in presenting this to you all.
Okay, I think folks can unmute themselves if they want to share. I believe they have that ability, right?
I believe so.
Let's see. See that. Does anyone have any questions for Ruby? Ruby, I
Okay.
was noticing when you were doing the, you were reading that first story, you kind of read it in English and then read it, or you began in Spanish, read it in English, read it in, and you kind of went back and forth between the two languages.
Yes.
Would you read it that way to the kids, or I was curious, would you read it in English and then translate that page in Spanish and then the next one? I was just curious if there's different ways to do that.
Well, I would probably just, depending on the audience, just to incorporate Spanish. Also, I'd want to maybe perhaps to read through it in English and then go back to read through it in Spanish. Just depending also if maybe the kids were a little bit extra, with their extra wiggles, just depending, I'd have to read the audience. But if not, then it might just be beneficial just to do 1 page English, 1 page Spanish, and kind of just introduce it like that.
Thank you. Ruby, it looks like there's just some nice comments in here. We got Elizabeth say, thank you,
Yes.
Ruby. Great job. Thank you from Amelia. Kelly says, no questions. Thank you, Ruby. Nice to see you again.
Nice to meet you.
Mosman, thank you for sharing. This was great. So, okay. Well, we did record this and we will be posting it to our YouTube, Alaska State Library YouTube. So it will be available to other folks.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Julie. Thank you,
Thank
everyone,
you.
for being here.